social media for bridge builders and just some information we have about Open Doors social media accounts. So with me, I have Grace, and Grace actually, I think in 2007, along with another coworker, realized there was a need with social media kind of being at the start of things about 5 years ago. Said, you know what, we need to get Open Doors a part of this. And Grace is in finance and just had it on her heart, along with this other coworker, to start social media here in Open Doors. So it's been going for over 5 years now. And so she's the one who does the Facebook posts that many of you see, I'm sure. And so a lot of work behind the scenes. So we're so thankful for Grace for seeing that need and making it what it is today. So hold her and embarrass her. My name's Emily, and I work in our communications department here at Open Doors. And I work with the media, but also I'm part of the social media team here as well. So, and then Judy and Paul requested that I say that I'm the person Karen is telling these stories about. I don't know what the stories were exactly, but Karen was my professor in college, so real big blessing in my life. So, anyways, we have a little presentation for you on some social media. So, what are those? So this is called Social Media and the Bridge Builder. As you know, we've got a few different social media accounts. First being Facebook, got Twitter, and recently, in the past month, Pinterest has been involved as well. How many of you are on Pinterest just yourselves? A few? Okay, awesome. There's a statistic that it's about 90% of Pinterest users are females. Don't know why exactly. Some people have different thoughts on it, but Grace will describe Pinterest a little bit more in a bit, but it's definitely a very impactful social media account for a lot of different reasons. And so if you haven't checked out Open Doors Pinterest account, really would recommend it. So the question is, just how big of a difference can you make via social media? Well, let's say you see an Open Door status, and you're thinking about looking at it, saying, okay, one of them, what would it do if you liked or commented on this status? Would it be a big deal if you chose to or didn't choose to? Well, a recent study, this study was entitled The Anatomy of Facebook, and it was a study from the University of Michigan, which my boss is the University of Michigan fan, so he's really happy to hear about this report coming from them. But the average Facebook user has about 190 friends, and so that's actually a huge reach, more so than we imagine. I was telling Grace earlier today, I took a moment to look at my friends who also like the Facebook page on Facebook, the fan page. And I was shocked because there are actually some friends who I had no idea knew about Open Doors other than that I worked there, and some non-Christian friends. And they were just so intrigued by these Christians who lived their faith and were willing to be persecuted that they were actually becoming involved in the ministry. So this was a reach I never thought I would have had in real life with some of my friends, you know? And it was just like one of those, oh my goodness moments, you know? So can you touch a little bit too on the reach?
Just from what I noticed when I post on Facebook, it's just not all of them are Christians, but they stand for social justice. So we are trying to reach all kind of people to come to our Facebook fan page and just to learn about the persecution that's going around, and because they have the heart for social justice and want to reach out in that way. So yeah,
definitely. Yeah, so it's amazing the reach, more than any other thing I've used in my life, with people you didn't know would be touched by this. And so we estimate there's about 30 to probably a little bit more of us in this room right now. Even if just one of your friends likes our page based off of seeing it a few times coming up in your news feeds or things like that, it's introducing 32 people to our ministry. And let's say they average with about 190 friends, You know, one of their friends could keep flagging it. And this is what grows and what spreads the message more than anything else on the internet right now, which we'll learn about in just a couple minutes. The reach is just fascinating, like I said, with people you wouldn't imagine. And that's a good thing, so. So right here is a graph we found on HubSpot.com. And the statistic is 79% of US Twitter users are more likely to recommend brands that they follow. And so when people see that you're following Open Doors on Twitter, and maybe they start to follow it as well, it's going to be the first ministry or the first thing that comes to mind when they think of Christians who are persecuted or Christians who are facing injustices in other countries. So even though this looks more like a business statistic, it actually does affect ministries as well and getting the word out. And so kind of a fascinating statistic that it's that high. And then I'm going to have Grace talk a little more on Pinterest because I'm still learning.
For all those who are on Pinterest, you know that it is very visually tempting. Like you go on and you just want to look at everything. And that's kind of what Pinterest is for those who are visual learners. And so we just created a Pinterest page for Open Doors that has our history on it and infographic, which Emily will touch in a little while. And we have verses that we made into just visually appealing about the persecuted, so that you could share that onto your Facebook or Twitter, so that when people see it, they're kind of eye-catching and be like, whoa, what is this? And then they'll click on it and they'll see, you know, things that we talk about in picture form. So Pinterest is really becoming a popular way for those who want to visually see things more than text.
Definitely. Whenever you can combine text and graphics and pictures, it's going to be a lot more compelling than maybe a couple sentences with a link. We've discovered people are a lot more drawn to it. So Pinterest is fast becoming a very, very influential social media form. And like this stat says here, 65% of Pinterest global web traffic is from the US. And so it's going to be people in the United States who are going to be mainly affected by the content we have on Pinterest. So a very, very important new social media front. Another amazing statistic that just stands out to us is that internet users spend 3 times more minutes on blogs and social networks than on email. But that's pretty fascinating to me. So our reach when we send out emails, or maybe when you email people about a story you read, they're going to spend less time on email or reading through that email. The best influence you're going to have on individuals is a blog or a social media account, sharing it with them on any of those platforms. And so it was just such an impactful reminder to us that's the best way to reach out to people who might be interested and to continue to do it. So it continues to show up in their news feed. It may not happen at first that a friend will like a page or read it, but after seeing it a couple times, it's going to draw their interest a little bit more. So just another really important one to remember. And that's why we need your help. Bridge Builders Facebook doesn't mind that I used an image from there. This is what infographics, how many of you have heard of infographics before? A few of you, great. Well, what infographics are is kind of what Grace was describing, where you're combining text or maybe just a statistic you'd normally share in just a sentence format, but including images that are going to be grabbing to people that are really going to stand out to them. And so this is what I created a little while ago about our Pew Research information we had for One With Them, that 70% of the world's population live in areas where there's restrictions on religious freedom. To me, I'm able to not just put that as a statistic when I see an infographic, seeing the highlighted that many people out of 100 facing persecution, it stands out and is a little bit more of a memory in people's heads. Talking with our other bases about this, we're just seeing that more and more people are drawn to like or comment or share infographics rather than a text sentence. And so if you're looking for something that's going to be influential when you're sharing with others, it really seems like, at least especially in the past 6 months, it's become just an excellent reach for reaching out to people. Comments on infographics or no? Okay. So basically we wanted to share with you some helpful resources in addition to the ones we showed. For infographics, Josh was kidding with me a few weeks ago, like, you can lie and tell everyone you're a graphic designer, you know, on your resume. It's actually this website called easily.com, or easily.ly.com. Anyways, it's up there. But this actually allows you to just insert statistics and allows you to create. They have all these infographic and designs available for you. It's super simplistic. That thing took me 10 minutes to make. It wasn't long at all. But if you're looking for something, maybe when you're sharing at churches or maybe for your Facebook, you read something that's compelling, turn it into an infographic if you think it's going to be something that'll reach out to individuals. So we said we've seen it be really impactful on our Facebook page, but very helpful too. And I asked Carrie, we can send you this presentation after too, just in case you're looking for example links and stuff. And then also, I was thinking of you guys, a lot of you doing presentations to churches and things like this. This is called Prezi, another thing that I was gonna lie about and say that created, website that does it for you. But it's a one that might keep interest a little bit more with the animations and things like that. Very similar to a PowerPoint. But I think anytime you can combine arts and animations and graphics into a presentation or something you share on social media, it's the way to grab people even more than just a status update. And so the third thing we wanted to mention was, for more statistics like the ones we were sharing just now on social media trends and just information on the reach or impact, HubSpot.com is an excellent resource. And you don't even have to be signed up with them. They offer a lot of free material just for very interesting statistics or just ways to reach your audience in a more compelling way. So it would be another one I'd suggest. And then the other suggestion is if you guys have any questions of Grace and I, or other members of our social media team, which is Josh right back there, and then Ian, who's not in today, right? Right, okay. But we're more than happy to answer any questions you have right now or later on. So I want to open it up this time for questions. What?
Can you share with the group about the blogging that you guys highlight?
Oh, definitely. Now, we have two elements of blogging. First of all, we have an Open Doors blog, which we share on Facebook and Twitter whenever we have a new update, but it's on our actual website. We do about 3 blogs a week there, just kind of sharing relevant information or maybe like a personal tie that'll draw people in. Those who like to follow blogs and read them, we try to create new content that'll reach out to them. But the other resource we have is for people who like to blog and would like to blog about persecuted Christians. Kevin and Whit are part of this. I'm not sure if other bridge builders are as well. But basically you can sign up with us to be a part of this blogging network and just share stories of persecution. And we list you on our website and highlight different blogs, every blog newsletter we send out, just so people who have their site group of friends can reach out and share different messages of persecuted Christians, or a story that maybe might have been more compelling to Whit, and knows it would be compelling to his specific group of followers and friends. And so it's a really neat way to reach people on a very personal level. That's one of the greatest things about blogging, I think. So, any other questions? Yes?
I don't know if this falls under social media or not, but books on Kindle, or what's the other one that's so popular?
iBooks and Nook.
The Nook. Yeah, so many people will say, what's a great book to read? Godsmoke.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get it on Kindle?
Definitely.
No, sorry.
We're working on that.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working, I'm working with the person who's responsible with that.
Okay.
And it's she's hoping to get it done in the next few months.
I mean, personally, I like being able to touch and feel a book, but it's really nice when you can have a whole library of these at your fingertips in one.
We 100% agree. It's been, like Josh was saying, it's been something we're trying to push forward for a few months here. Right now, we do have Carl's book, The Privilege of Persecution, the first chapter available to read online in those formats as well.
Autograph?
Exactly, one-time edition. So, yeah, it's definitely something we're seeing as very influential, and to just be able to share with people. So it's so much easier to share, with individuals. Like, check out this book on Kindle, as you know, that you can share with those tablets and devices. So yes, in a few months, hopefully, we'll have a couple available then. So yes. Good question. Any others? Yes, Sue?
I was just wondering for Pinterest, for those of, I've tried signing up for an account, but it's a little different because you have to request an account. And could you explain a little bit how that works? It's different than
You do
Facebook.
have to be invited, unfortunately.
I don't think you have to anymore. They changed it within the last couple of weeks.
Oh, so,
Or when I signed up, I had to be invited.
Yeah.
So, her question was Pinterest. It used to be where you have to be invited to be on it, but now I heard that they opened up so anybody can join. And our Pinterest name is just Open Doors USA, and you can find that once you do the search. But I just kind of want to add on. I love the dialogue that goes on our Facebook page and Twitter. Sometimes I don't even have to explain. Other people will go in and answer other people's questions, and that's what we're really looking for. Is a dialogue between other Christians and other people who stand for social justice. And sometimes I sit there and I'll be like, this is so cool just to watch all these strands, and because people do care, and I get excited for every like that we get because it's just like someone cares, for Twitter, it's 140 characters, but someone cares, and it's really great to see that. And it's bits of information, but they love it. So I just encourage you, if you have a chance to be on Facebook and be able to share about Open Doors or other things that you're passionate about, to do it.
You mind if I share something with you too? Something we've been trying to do this year, and we started with the World Watch List and have been doing it formal events. We really trying to encourage people to take action. And I just if you go to World Watch List, you'll see like on these specific country pages, there's how many actions people have taken. So there's Facebook shares, there's tweets. On North Korea alone, there's 819 Facebook likes, and there's 216 tweets. If you think about that, that's like 1,000 people sharing about North Korea, on these social networks. And I also get notifications whenever anybody prays on this website. So, like when people, it's kind of like the comment function, but we change it. So we invite people so they, people could pray for the specific countries. And, I stand back and look at it, and I think it's somewhere like 3,500 prayers have been prayed for, the countries on the World Watch List. And it's these type of things that just begin to really excite me. Like, wow, this is just, these websites are making a difference, and these actions are taking a difference, and people are, hearing about the persecuted church. And I just want to encourage you guys that, you may see these, shares and tweets and all that. Please share them, because I think that's, that's the part we really want to, like our passion is really to make this cause known. And, I think at last count, I can't remember exactly, but, we did a Friends of Friends thing on Facebook of people who, are friends of the people who follow us on Facebook. And the reach is like 1-2 million, and it just gets exciting when you start to think about like, wow, like, granted, like, that's everybody's friend. But like the reality is we can really make a difference with this stuff. And I just really want to encourage you guys. I know last time you guys, Bridge Builders kind of took it to the next level when it came to social media, and I just would encourage you guys, again, in just simple ways, like this stuff makes a difference. And I think for me, every week when I see, wow, 10, 20 more prayers have been prayed over the weekend for Afghanistan or North Korea or Turkey, or I think that's where we're at right now on the World Watch List. That just excites me. I'm just like, wow, that's really cool. Or somebody favorited the tweet that about Turkey on Twitter. It's like, right on. That's exciting. They retweeted to 250 followers. Awesome. So I think that's just something else we're trying to do. Is really trying to use this to get the word out. We can do a little bit, but you guys can do a lot. And I think that's the thing that I just hope to leave you guys with. So.
Definitely. One other thing, just to kind of add to what Grace was saying too, like this morning we had a status about what would you say to a Kuwaiti believer to encourage them. Got like 30 comments, of just people sharing an encouraging word if they could actually beat this person. Not only is it just impactful for all the people who see that come up in their news feeds, but such a blessing and encouragement, I think, to the body of believers who's being a voice for the voiceless, and just seeing what they would say. And I'm reminded of the story, we were talking about this a few days ago, of multiple persecuted Christians who were saying, I had no idea who, but as I was in the middle of this persecution or torment, God placed on my heart that there were believers in other parts of the world who I'd never met praying for me or speaking these encouragements. It's happening through social media now. It's just the strangest platform you could have ever thought of, but knowing that is true for multiple believers who've been imprisoned or persecuted for their faith, feeling these prayers from people they don't even know. And so just even from that element, it's amazing too. And just to encourage you guys, honestly, every time I log into Facebook and see my notifications, I think every other one is from Bridge Builders group, and it's so wonderful just to see the encouragement that takes there, the prayer requests, just the hearing the updates and passion about the persecuted church and what's been going on in each of your lives. And so thank you so much for the work you are already doing on social media. And I definitely just hope it kind of helps to know kind of our potential reach and things like that too. So any other questions? If not, please feel free to,
I just have one quick question. So Facebook Open Doors USA, do they have the same exact status updates every day? Because I see the same too.
Do the fan page. Because that's really where everything is happening. The Open Doors without the USA, it's our friends page. And that's what we first started, and we're just keeping it going just because we have a few thousand friends on it already. So, but the fan page is really what you're looking for.
Yes.
I am so encouraged to hear you guys. I work at Open Doors. I work with these guys, but I'm not in social media. And I've been here about 10 years. And this is, the word that is screaming to me is tangible. That this is why we're under attack. This is why we need prayer. This is why the enemy comes against us, because this is like a wildfire, And I never knew it was as big as you guys have now told it. And it's so tangible, because for years and years and years, we pray, but we can't go, or we pray, but we can't send a letter, and all these, this is so much more easier to grasp onto, and really encouraging, just amazingly encouraging, especially for the youth today who are concerned about social media more and more, and social injustice more and more. So I am hugely encouraged by you guys.
Glad to hear. Well, thank you guys again. And I think Gary will be able to provide our email addresses, or if you guys have any questions you think of later or need more resources, we're definitely here to help in any way we can. So thanks again.